What's up, Hood News peeps? It's your girl, Grizzy. I've got Hector with me.
Hey, what's up, Grizzy? It is episode number 30.
30. Yes, man. We're starting off with the bull on 99. Do you peep this stuff?
Hey, Grizzy, you play with the bull, you get the horns.
Man, go Cowboys, man. This is only in the great state of Texas. You're going to see some... I don't know. Look at the guy. He's got a belt. Yeah, he's ready to lasso him in. Look, woo! Yeah, yeah, baby, man. Like, what a sight to see on Grand Parkway.
It's a classic Texas. You know, people from up north always say that we're full of cowboys and stuff like that, but we forget this stuff happens this stuff happens a lot down here.
Oh yeah, pretty bull, man. That's a beautiful, gorgeous animal, man. There they go, man. Shout out to those peeps.
Miss Washington on Facebook says a Taurus is running from a bad relationship.
Yeah. Man, I knew the peeps. We always throw Zodiac in the Hood News. Oh my goodness, I almost fell out. Then Tony Eason Grider says the second guy running like this some bullshit. Yes.
Hey, but he was ready with that lasso.
Rope him. Hey, get ready. We got more on the way. Hood News peeps, so much more. Get your snacks, get your drinks. Let's go.
All right, Grizzy, in a culture where sometimes we don't appreciate those that work in the service industry, we got a great story here where someone actually highlights somebody that's actually going the extra mile in providing service.
That is correct, Hector. Last night, a Hood News peep, and they shared this story, and my heart melted when I read this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope things get better. But a Hood News peep reached out last night, and somewhere off of Spring Cypress and Champion Forest location, there's a pizza place. This woman, great lady that you guys see here, was all alone. There were no workers in the back. I don't know if everybody went on strike, if they left, quit. I don't know. But this person was the only one tending to the people at the register, making the pizzas, putting them out, making the wings, everything. And she was doing it with a smile,
right.
A great positive attitude. The peep ordered online, got there, and she said, "I'm so sorry, but we'll be right with you. I'm handling this order." And then that's when he observed, because he had time to sit there and look, and he observed that she was the only worker there. And man, this lady is so amazing. She did everything with a smile, good attitude, where I probably would have, took my apron off and fled the scene. I mean, this lady really did. She just kept it positive. Then the Hood News peep found out that she had a second job to go to in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, so just amazing.
And taking some pride in her work and her effort too as well. We just got over just almost a week or two without power, and sure people were frustrated and they wanted their food and they wanted it now and made it done right.
Yes.
But this girl here, this beautiful woman, she was here serving with a smile and serving people and making sure she was dedicated. That's what we're all about.
Yes.
Props to you if you're watching. If you're watching this, we appreciate you for serving the people and serving the people of Houston with a great smile and doing it, with some pride.
Yes, God is with you. You are an angel in times of distress. Like, her attitude was amazing. And I know that Hood News peeps had plans to go in person to go drop off gift cards. We're just compelled to want to bless somebody, like that truly deserves it. And this lady right here is an example of H-Town pride.
Yeah, we're always covering, we see stories all over the internet too as well, as where people in the service industry are being disrespected, food thrown at them and cussed at, even fights too as well. We can name some chicken franchise locations that's always happening at. But you know what? These are stories we definitely want to highlight. Props to you guys for taking care of her.
Send me more. I can't eat this enough. Like, I can't get enough of it. Send me more feel goods. We need more feel goods, especially in these times. All right, Hood News peeps. It's been 1 month already since the murder of Jocelyn Nungaray, a girl 12 years old from the north part of Houston, who was followed by 2 suspects that, did the unimaginable, took her life underneath a bridge off of Rankin Road in Ella.
Right, and it's a story that captivated the entire world. The entire world was following the story here in North Houston, but also Grizzy was one of the first there out to the scene back a month ago. And just a tragic story that unfolded of what happened to poor Jocelyn. But you were just out just a few days ago at a vigil?
Yeah, there was a prayer vigil held for her in her name. And, the family is still as fresh as day one. I mean, yes, there are people now in custody. It's just a slap in the face to the community.
Right.
This is torn our city, like something of this magnitude for Houston to be put in such a horrible light for something so horrific. You know, like, we take pride in our city, and this should have never happened. Honestly, it's an atrocity, and I hope and pray that these people pay to the severest full extent.
Yeah, and even after the funeral there, Mattress Mac stood up too as well, had a big service and
the whole
ceremony.
City came together. This was definitely something where the whole city stood up and helped, supported the family, donated, did whatever they can to show support for a family in such a horrific time. This is not like, I spoke to some of the family members, and it hurts, and it feels like it just happened yesterday. I know a whole month has passed, but they're gonna be fighting this. This is a pain that'll never go away, a void that'll always be there, a memory, or you think about how great she would have been, or as a young woman, she'll never get to experience those things. And our prayers go out to Alexis, her mom, and the family, and the whole family, her little brother as well.
And it's crazy, Grizzy, like as you said, it's been 4 weeks now since this occurred. The news cycle is just nonstop, and it feels like it's a lot longer than, but there's just so many things that's happened since.
There's a lot of, Hector, I want to talk about this too, but there's a lot of crime towards young people.
Right.
Like, I just went to the shooting where 2 15-year-olds were shot. We don't know if it's related to if these two teens, one died, one was in stable condition. One was self-transported to the hospital where he died. The other kid was picked up by paramedics off of Meadow Glen, I believe it was, or Rogerdale, one of those streets. And that kid was expected to survive. We think that it might be related. And then, like, a few days later in Spring Branch, 14-year-old is shot and killed in a parking lot and left there to die in a car, and they're looking for the suspects. It's just like constant flow of youth,
right?
And just a few days before that, we shared pictures of like a gun down. Like, it's just so many shell casings all like littered all across the floor. And it was like number 35 that she was setting up over a shell casing, but there were many, many more. So it's just that kind of stuff that we're seeing. Parents, we got to keep our kids safe. You got to talk to them. In the situation where we have all these shootings of young people, you got to ask questions. Where are you going? No, you can't go. It's too late. Stay home. No, I'm ordering you to stay. You're not going anywhere. You're grounded. Like, we have to raise and guide our kids, because if we're not, we're just letting them, like, what is a 14-year-old doing at almost midnight driving?
Right.
Whew, like, that's crazy. Like, you're not supposed to be on the road driving. Like, and who's got all these guns? Like, these little kids have guns.
Just a sad situation, Grizzy, and Hood News peeps. We got to lift up our youngsters. Keep them up in prayer, but also be involved in their lives. There's situations too as well where there's families who sometimes neglect their kids too as well, or maybe they're forgotten. And if you see a neighbor, you see a family member in that situation, be involved in their lives. And we got to keep our youngsters close. They are the future of our community. We can't depend also on technology to raise them.
We got to teach them coping mechanisms. That if somebody insults you, it doesn't require you taking a gun and shooting them. We've got to teach them that if their little boyfriend or girlfriend breaks up with them, that they don't want to go harm them.
Right.
We got to teach, but we lead by example. I think a lot of these kids see those behaviors in the parents. And if that's not the case, then we can't tell. So we got to do something. You got to guide your kids.
Grizzy, I was just watching a story on TikTok just last week, and it was a story of a 12-year-old that killed her 8-year-old, smothered the 8-year-old to death over a video game. Those are things that these kids are also witnessing on video games. And not saying video games technology is all the blame, right?
No, yeah, for sure.
But it's the examples that we're allowing them, we're opening to them and allowing them to see. They think that's probably also maybe a normal life. Right. There's no consequences to those things.
When you give a child a phone at the age of 7, I've seen some parents give their kids a phone at 7, 7, 8, 9. That phone is raising your child if you're not around to monitor their stuff. You guys need to be getting their phones. Don't be afraid. Pick up the phones. Let me show you. While they're sleeping, go get that freaking phone and get in there. And I promise you're going to find something that you're not going to like, and you need to address it. Maybe it's their friends, or maybe it's them. Maybe they're bullying somebody. Maybe they're harassing. I get a lot of videos or messages from parents of bullied children. And these kids are literally torturing a child at school and withdrawing them from the rest of the crowd, and just making them feel less, making the kids feel inferior, making them feel bad about the way they dress, just cruel. and or weight shaming or all that kind of stuff. You got to do better. Parents, you might think your kid's an angel. That's great. But go verify and make sure that they're an angel, man. You got to know your kids. Some of you guys have a child under your roof and you don't know who you have under your household.
Right. You know, it's important, you know, these kids too as well, they get bullied to a point where they think there's no escape but to cause harm or get maybe an easy way out, something. And they cause different things. And
self-harm.
Yep.
So yeah, please, parents. I mean, we love your children. Your kids are our future. We're at the mercy of them when we get older. And baby, I'm scared, man. Like,
And then Grizzy, you know, and speaking of the youngsters, you were also covering incidents last week where there was youngsters that were killed and also shot.
Yeah, Hector. And here's one of the scenes I was telling you about where a 16-year-old male was deceased at the scene and a 19-year-old was transported to the hospital and was undergoing surgery. Just really messed up. This is the 4000 block of Quarter. Shout out to my peeps from that area near Scott Street. Yeah, the homicide detectives, they were already on the scene. I think she's pulling out the 35 card. So that's how many shell casings at the moment that photo was taken. That's how many she was up to. But there were still more. Right. I don't know what the total count was, but that's like just wild to me. We're in the wild, wild west.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. You know, the news cycle never stops here in Houston, and it also has, like you said, it's a lot to do with our youngsters too. That are now doing things and even causing more harm and more crime around the city. Where it seems that way, and you know, again, it's probably a lack of attention. It's a lack of love. It's a lack of of direction and maybe just some even discipline too as well for these youngsters. And while I believe the parents, we all have a responsibility. You know, it takes a village to raise a child.
Exactly.
You know, it takes a village to raise a child. We all have a responsibility. If we see a youngster that's in need, that's lonely or whatever, we have a responsibility to help them direct their way. You know, get them involved in you know, youth groups or soccer, sports,
activities, something. We got to keep those kids busy. Just heartbreaking, man. Like, we want better for the kids. They don't deserve this at all. These poor kids got hurt. I don't know who did it or if it was an exchange between them or whatever the case. It's still a very unfortunate part of what's happening in today's world. You know, we want better for them. We really do. They deserve a shot. We bring them into this world. We have to try to do the best to ensure that they have a chance in this life. I-10 East near Wayside. The mighty spool is back, folks. Be on the lookout. Heads on a swivel. HPD is on the scene, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, look, there goes another one. A Hood News peep sent in this video. Kleinbrook subdivision. Be on the lookout, folks. We got a breadwinner over on one side to my right, and then we've got some crooks over to my left. They're pulling up in the loser cruiser. Check this out. This man's working hard for his family, a breadwinner, hardworking, out in the sun, and somebody felt that they could walk up and start stealing this man's tools. And he's wearing a hoodie. That's the outfit of the bandits. Why? Because they're sitting in AC riding around stealing. He doesn't have to work for anything. This is horrible. Let's do better, Houston. Be on the lookout, folks. Somebody might recognize him. I'm so sorry this happened to you, sir. If we're able to find out any information, we will try to get you some justice. Oak Forest area. I don't know what happened to the sound, so I will fill it in for you. Anyhow, be on the lookout. Somebody's truck got shot up and suspects are still out there at large. Here they come. Duck down, peeps. Pew, 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 pew.
We want to highlight those that are committed to community, those that are committed to the youth, and making sure that they're staying out of trouble. Today, I am acknowledging one individual here in Houston, Texas, that is really giving his life to the community. Not only is this guy Harris County Sheriff's part of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, he is also a leader of the community and runs a organization called World Famous Savages. Here I'm joined with this month's Air Team Heating and Cooling Hero of the Month, Dion Howard. Dion,
thanks for having me. Can you say World Famous Savages one more time so I can hear you?
Yeah, World Famous Savages. And World Famous Savages is what?
Oh, it's, a great organization to be around. We have flag football for girls, flag football for boys, basketball organization from first grade all the way up to seventh grade. We also have soccer, but we call them the world famous Dragons. But we're gonna switch it over to Savages this year.
Pretty, pretty well-established organization. It's nonprofit. You guys have been around since 2017.
Yes, sir.
How many people are participating in this organization?
Over 100.
Wow.
Man, over 100.
Wow.
Over 100.
And obviously, you're also in the police force too, as well, with HCSO, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you're also doing this in your free time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do both?
Well, honestly, I don't have any free time.
Right.
So I get off at 3 o'clock every day.
Okay.
We have football practice at 6 o'clock. So I get like an hour, nap, sleep, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And practice over at around 8:15, 8:30, because, parents have questions.
Right.
Kids want to know how they're going to get better. What can they do to, make me feel good? But
sure.
Just them being out there makes me proud, and they're not doing anything crazy.
Dion, what made you, just get into this side of the things? What made you do this?
Well, growing up, I'm from Acres Homes, Texas,
okay.
on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Boys and Girls Club. And it was a guy, I had a mentor by the name of Dave.
Okay.
And he used to pick us up and take us to the other, low-income housing communities, Berry Road, Oxford, Clayton Homes, and we'll go compete against them in multiple sports.
Right.
And on Fridays and Saturdays, we had the PABA, in Third Ward Boxing. He'll come pick us up and we'll go box, on the weekends.
Right.
So I was always active as a, young boy. And so me giving back, it's like, an honor, because that man there, he didn't know it, but he was like a father figure to me.
Wow.
And so as I got older, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give back. I'm going to do the same thing he did for me.
If somebody's watching, if they're watching and they have kids or youth or youngsters, how do they get them involved?
I have a website, WFSavages.com, or they can check us out on Instagram at WFSavages2017.
Okay. And the same thing, you're looking for business sponsors and community sponsors to help too as well.
Yes, if you go on the website at WFSavages.com, it actually has a slot.
Right.
For, if you would like to donate to the organization.
And what is your vision for world famous Savages?
Man, I just want these kids to go to college and let me be there for on signing day.
Man, that's
I want to be in
up,
the background and
that's cool.
Congratulate them on, I just want somebody to be successful. Then when, they get older, they could be like me,
right.
That kid, and then start their own, nonprofit organization and help kids out.
Well, Dion, you were nominated by Candace Green. We are excited to announce you this month's Air Team.
Huge shout out to Candace Green. That's my girl.
Air Teams and Grizzy's Hood News Hero of the Month here on Grizzy's Hood News. Dion, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, with that comes with a $500 gift card to you. And it could go to you or your organization.
It's going back to the kids. We're going to get new uniforms next week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So if you're a business too, or if you're just anybody who wants to help sponsor, make sure you guys go to what's the website again?
WFSavages.com.
Dion, thank you again, brother, for all your help
and
participating in community. It's very important. We need more people like this guy right here. And thank you guys for watching and supporting Grizzy's Hood News. All right, Hood News peeps, just this past week, if you guys have been following, we been covering an incident where a couple of Rottweiler was tied to a tree during the hurricane and a tree fell. And Grizzy, you went right to the scene.
Oh, man. Yes, Hector. So everybody knows Hurricane Beryl touched down. Unfortunately, throughout the city of Houston, we got so many images of pups that were left tied to trees that were broken and falling down. In this case, a privacy fence, as you guys see here, a privacy fence came tumbling down on a dog. And the dog, it was already chained up, and it didn't give the chain much leeway, so the dog's just stuck standing there. Feces, no food, no water, no nothing. So your girl made a post. I'm like, hey, this is the corner, this is the intersection, look what's happening. Well, the Hood News peeps didn't take much time to react, and neither did HPD. HPD Northeast Patrol, they sent out a task force. They've got some officers for the animal cruelty.
Right.
They investigated this. They took two dogs. So we saw one Rottweiler that we knew of.
Right.
We didn't know that there was a second one also tied up, also with no food and water. So then I get a phone call, hey, does anybody have the phone number to the owners? Because there's more barking inside the house. And from what I understood, nobody lives there. There was no power in the area, no generator hooked up to the house, and it was like in the dark. So I pull up. That's when I decided to pull up.
Yeah, I saw that it was in Lakewood subdivision. You were out there. You did a live, and you were just you were gonna do your own sting operation,
baby. Yes, your girl was ready. I went live because you never know what can happen in these things. It might pop off. Lakewood is also known as Murderwood, so I had to be tread carefully. So I get there, and there's this gentleman, and he's like tending to the dogs. The door to the house is open. It's complete dark.
Right.
And there are 4 bulldogs. 3 Frenchies and 1 bulldog in the home in kennels, left in the dark, left in the hot weather, left with no food, no water. They're the bottom flooring of their kennels covered in feces because the man pulls it out and we see all of that. It's all on the video, and I'm just like floored.
Yeah, and I saw that. Who was the gentleman there?
He is somebody that was like a caretaker. I don't know how often he was going out to do these things to care for them. Like, he's the innocent party in all of this. At some point, he tells me that I can get closer and go take a look.
Right.
And you say less, bro. I pulled up, I looked inside, and you see the French bulldogs. These are like real spoiled pups. Like, they're also vulnerable. Like, they can't be in the heat.
Right.
Like, like not like a regular dog.
They're sensitive.
They're more sensitive, exactly. And look at the trays with the poop. I mean, just horrible. Like, where the dogs poop, that's where they laid. So it's just very cruel, very inhumane. At some point, a guy pulls up and says, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, there's some animal cruelty going on." He's like, he wasn't even worried about it. He's like, "Hey, you put me on the Hood News." With the little research, I found out that this guy shot somebody in the buttocks at a mercado. So I wasn't really too sure what's going on there. Like I told him, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about these dogs.
Right.
Somebody must have tipped him off because he fled the scene. Like, I guess they called him and say, "Hey, bro, you're on live."
Yeah.
So the guy took off. That had to, most likely this was the owner that I came into contact with.
Right.
Baby mama was circling around the area too. Well, I left because it started getting a little uncomfortable, and I'm like, man, I don't want to F around and find out either. So your girl maintained a safe distance. HPD came back out with the animal folks, and they gave like a warning to the owners of these 4 pups because they were fed, and they had to be removed from the house, and I believe they had to have 2 per household. Like, they couldn't all be in the same house under the same roof. So yeah, look at this. This is just horrible.
That's exclusive, incredible footage, Grizzy, and beautiful animals too, as well.
Yes.
You can only assume they were breeding animals.
Maybe. I mean, it's you can see the chi-chis on the dog. So yeah, something like that. It is so crazy, you guys. Like, and the sad part is this is likely happening all over H-Town,
right.
Not just this. This is what you call, I'm going to think or say or speculate that this could be backyard breeding. I mean, no love, in the dark, in the heat, no power in the whole neighborhood at the time. It was just horrible, man. No water in the bowls, no access to movement, activity, nothing, man. These are dogs that are literally like anybody else would spoil them. And imagine what the poor Rotties went through, out there chained up, tied up. Just sad, friends, man. We got to do better. Don't get a dog. Some of y'all don't even take care of your kids. How are you going to take care of a dog, man? Come on.
Yeah, don't do it. If you find yourself in a situation where the dog is, it's a lot to take care of, a lot of responsibility, find somebody to give the dog over to. Do the right thing.
Yes. And if you see it, don't ignore it, man. Like, we did a Google search of the residents, and you could see the dogs in better times. They were nice, fat, they were still chained up, which is sad too to exist that way. But they looked way more healthier. By the time, somebody reported this, their dogs were emaciated, like real super skinny, heartworm positive, like even behavioral issues, like where they're a little shy, they're scared of people.
And I saw also during the live that somebody had messaged you, or you were talking about somebody messaged you saying that, hey, the owners were in a hospital or something like that.
Yeah,
trying to cover for them.
Yeah, somebody made a bunch of excuses, and I can't really prove that the person didn't go to the hospital, but it was a bunch of crap. And I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, but when the people started rolling up on me, they weren't in the hospital.
Right.
They were there, and then
circling the block.
Yeah, and then a mutual friend reached out. The guy that shot somebody in the buttocks, which was the owner, a mutual friend says, "Hey, Grizz, why are you doing my homeboy like that? Blah, blah, blah." I said, "Have you even seen the video? Have you seen any of my posts?" No, I didn't. I said, "Look, if you love me, go check it out, man. We're friends. Don't lose this friendship over a misunderstanding. Go look at the video." And then I guess he saw it. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That is so wrong. That is so wrong." And so, yeah, it's just crazy stuff. Do better because people are watching. They can count on the Hood News that we will get the voice out Update. I believe that the dogs, they're set to be put to sleep today at 1 p.m. My understanding is that there are pledges already in place.
Right.
So stay tuned. I'll let you guys know. It's a damn if you do and damn if you don't. Do you let the dogs continue to suffer tied up, or face the possibility that you could get them help, but if they don't get help, they get put to sleep. It's a sad reality here in Houston.
Wow.
Unwanted pets, man, mistreated, abused. But like I tell people, I bet if these dogs were to see those owners that treated them so badly, they would be happy. Their tails would wag. The loyalty of an animal is like amazing, man.
Right. Well, more to come on Grizzy's Hood News. All right, last week, Grizzy, you were covering an incident where it was kind of a scary situation where you came across bodies that were in decomposed state, right?
Yes. All right, so this happened off of the 290 Antoine area on a street called Milwee. So I get out there and HPD is at the scene where 2 people were found deceased inside a trailer.
Wow.
What happened was that someone overheard at the gas station around the corner, someone heard a conversation between 2 homeless people. They heard them talking about bodies being in the back of a trailer. This person's ear hustle game was on. They called the authorities. HPD gets out to a property. I guess they had that much information.
Wow.
They get out to this property. This is a place of business. I think they collect donations or something for charity. And there's a bunch of trailers. They start opening all the doors. They go searching inside each one. But there's one that's parked in a difficult way that you can't open the door.
Right.
Like it's parked backwards to the side, just really weird. So they can't get to it. I don't know how they knew, but they discovered a hole on top of the trailer. The Houston Fire Department gets out there. They climb on the ladder and they peer inside, and there are 2 bodies in advanced state of decomposition to the point to where they were mummified.
Wow.
Yes, mummified. And I was like, what? This story, we can't make stuff up like this. Like, who would know that somebody would hear some ramblings going on and that it would lead to something like horrific? Such a crazy discovery. So medical examiners arrive and they bring a whole team. Like they had like 3 trucks out there versus the 1.
Right.
I mean, they had a bunch, like a whole team. They go up there, start photographing without compromising the scene, because they've got to photograph it without disturbing any of the crime scene. And it's a challenge because they had to climb up ladders. It's just a whole different type of crime scene that I've never seen before. And the peeps got to experience it too via the Facebook Live. So
I was watching, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning and you were out there. I mean, that's kind of some freaky stuff there, Grizzy.
Yeah, we never.
But this is some movie type stuff that you see, paranormal, crazy stuff.
Yeah. And so, like at the end of the day, these are somebody's loved ones.
Yeah.
Why this went unreported for so long, I don't know. What was the secret? Only the medical examiners will be able to piece the clues and the crime scene folks. If, just did they overdose? Was there foul play? Were they like trapped and got heat exhaustion? Or, there's all these questions. Did anybody not hear them cry for help? Or just so many possibilities. And I don't know if we'll ever know.
Yeah, do you know what was in the tank?
Yeah, I think that might have had like donations and stuff. I don't know. Because some of them were empty. When the officers went around opening them, some of them had things in them, some of them had nothing. So it's kind of difficult to tell. And yeah, man, shout out to the fire department, shout out to HPD, shout out to our forensics, shout out to the medical examiner's office, because this scene was insane. I've had people reach out saying, Grizzy, what's the follow-up? Honestly, I don't know. It might take maybe a loved one of one of the people to reach out.
And there's a business there too, right?
It sits on a business. They were going to open just a few hours later. Can you imagine pulling into work?
Right.
And from my understanding, these trailers don't move anymore. They've just been there. And a neighbor reached out to me saying that on the other side, a lot of homeless camp out.
Got it.
So they kind of like trespass, get up in there. There's a lot of homelessness in that little area.
Right.
So can you imagine pulling up to work, Hector, and you see all of this craziness
forensics
happening?
out there.
Yeah. The whole time, like there's somebody deceased in one of your trailers. This is crazy.
Well, hopefully we get to the bottom of this, Grizzy. That's a pretty interesting story. You know, you could also assume too as well. Maybe they, like you said, they probably fell in or climbed in for shelter. Maybe didn't have a way back out.
Yeah.
But if there was things in the trailer too as well, you could have thought maybe they
or
were
the
able
banging. Maybe they
Yeah.
could have gotten help. Who knows? Or did they meet with foul play? Did somebody hurt them? Or overdoses is a huge thing. Like
Right.
here in Houston, there's a huge drug epidemic. So, like, what happened to them? And I hope we do get some kind of answers. I hope that maybe we'll never hear directly from the medical examiners or anything like that, but I'm hoping maybe through a viewer or maybe through a loved one that they see this and reach out and update us. I hope we can give it some more light and give these people names and just, pray for them and stuff. That's also part of what, the Hood News is about. It's not just capturing the story, but the aftermath, trying to find out what happened.
Right. But right now we have more questions than
answers.
All right, if you haven't been watching Grizzy'sHoodNews.com, we have exclusive video that pops up every day. It's hot off the presses, and thousands of people visit the website daily. And we had a situation this past weekend, Grizzy, where there was a battle of the cuz up in New Caney.
Yes, Clash of Cuz was going down. We got Skeleton Man versus Swing Man. Look, check them out. And they both have the same thing in common. El Edgar haircut, man. Man, look at that chili bowl, man. Look, boom. I mean, they're just going, look, man, just like, yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Yes, man. What's going on here? Can you imagine this? Poor people. I thought it was like a joke. Apparently, this was real.
This is how me and my cousins used to fight over the Nintendo when I was a kid.
Man, and this happened in real time over at a Walmart. Which Walmart was this, Hector?
I believe it was up in Splendora, New Caney
Yeah,
area.
I think it was New Caney. Man, New Caney cuz.
New cuz.
Yeah. Watch out, folks. Man, Skeleton Man ain't playing. Skeletor. He's ready to swing. Yeah, look at and somebody's mama came and checked them. That's what should have happened from the beginning. Somebody's mom should have stepped in. But this lady, shout out to her, man. She's like, no, please don't do that anymore.
And he's with a jump rope or?
I don't know what that is, man. And nobody's doing anything. Like, man, look at the kids. He's like, oi. Look at the kids in the background.
Just running away.
Yeah, and other people are like, nothing's happening, dude. This is insane. Oh, my goodness. Man, be on the lookout, folks. Just be careful with these cuz, man. They're out there.
And if you don't have it bookmark Grizzy'sHoodNews.com.
Yeah, go check out our website. Yeah, go check it out.
Great website. The latest and greatest videos right there from H-Town, right there on Grizzy'sHoodNews.com.
Things we can't show you on Facebook. North Cliff Manor area. Be on the lookout, Hood News peeps. We got another set of thieves here. This loser cruiser is distinctive because of that one panel that's a whole different color to it. Be on the lookout. These guys stole some drills and tool sets. Look at them. Be on the lookout, Hood News peeps. Somebody's going to recognize them. Adults, parents, check on your youngsters, man. This is crazy. I'm just looking at this and realizing these are very young people, man. They have a whole future ahead of them, and they're already making these crazy mistakes in life. Then there's an adult over there behind the steering wheel. Man, we got to do better. Don't forget, we're in the great state of Texas where everybody carries a pew-pew. It's not worth it. Look at them. Hey, get back here. Stop. Hey. Be on the lookout, Hood News peeps. North side. Heads on a swivel. All right, Hood News peeps, this is the Timberwood neighborhood right off of Rankin and 59. Either he was trying to steal the truck or look for something inside, but whatever happened, he got spooked and ran off. Check it out. Too lazy to even put on shoes. This guy came out to steal in flip-flops. Look at him. My question is the barber also going to get charged with anything if ever caught? Anyhow, be on the lookout, Hood News peeps. It's raining and these guys are out there wanting to steal from folks. Sunnyside area. Whose pawpaw is this? Climbing fences and taking stuff and doing all kinds of craziness. Who's what? Abuelito, who's pawpaw? Anyhow, this is off of Belfort in the Sunnyside neighborhood. Please be on the lookout. If you see him, tell him to stop his stuff, man, because we're in the great state of Texas and a lot of people carry pews. Be on the lookout, folks. All right, Hood News peeps. So I'm about to show you guys a video. Check this out. Back to school's on the way. A lot of parents are going to, their resources, pulling some money out the pocket, whatever they got to do. But we do have some people that are giving themselves not just the tax exemption, the 5-finger discount, Hector.
Hey, this was not the tax-free weekend we were talking about, Grizzy.
No. Yeah, we were talking about, that's coming up in August. But this ain't it, folks. We have some folks, I don't even know what locations, but it's the same vehicle. I didn't even click to it when I posted it until I looked back later at the video. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same loser cruiser. So they went from one location, and then later in the evening, they hit up another location, walking out past the point of sale with a bunch of stolen merchandise, loading up and taking off. Some underwears were left behind, a T-shirt or two on the ground, but they cleaned house.
Hey, and if you're watching, this is also the reason why merchandise and things are going up. The cost of inflation is going up too as well, because things like this are happening quite a bit, Grizzy. We have these stores or businesses, they have to make up for their costs in other ways, that they hire new security, new technology too as well, and they got to make up for those costs. Yeah,
and please leave the plus size where it's at. Please, like it's already a challenge for us big, thick, and juicy women to find clothes, and then y'all taking it, and no, leave the extra larges there. Please, take the mediums. All right.
All right, straight from the Hood News Messenger, we got a message. Grizzy got a message last week about a owner of Texas Excellence Cheer out in Mount Bellevue. Shout out to Mount Bellevue. She seemed like somebody broke into her car.
Yes, right? Yes, friends. And look, I'm just gonna preach one time for the one time. Please stop leaving your valuables inside unattended parked cars. There should not be a false sense of security. If you live in the suburbs, if you live in the hood, if you live in a mansion somewhere in the hilltops of Houston, I don't know, whatever, the River Smokes. Yes, if you wherever it is in the hoodlands, you're not exempt from theft. That is like a real thing. Like, let me just say like this: the people that commit a lot of crimes, they will drive to the nice hoods to go look for your stuff and take it.
Yeah, there's a false sense of security too as well. Some people in their neighborhoods, whether it's the Hoodlands or Mount Bellevue, she says here as well, she left her car unlocked.
Yes. With stuff inside.
So she ended up, looks like she left the car unlocked, and you had footage too as well, I think in the comment section from the bank, somebody sneaking into her car.
Yes, there's a video right there.
Outside the business and taking the stuff. There's a female, right? So there's a female there sneaking around, looking at people's cars, takes her wallet, and then runs off to a bank up in Humble.
Yeah, makes purchases, like goes to town, man, while this lady's in there cheering and gymnastics and all this good stuff. I think they hit up several cars, not just that one, but we got the footage from the bank. And let me tell you guys, we got 3 suspects. One of the suspects deleted her comments, but guess what? Screenshots last forever. Girl, we almost got to come on down. We're just waiting. I can't really put you out there yet because we're working with crappy footage. It's not really... Hector, I don't understand this. We can see the moon and cracks in the moon and craters and all this kind of good stuff. We can't even see somebody's face clearly at an ATM machine or at a bank teller's spot.
And the moon landings in the 1960s with crystal clear footage.
Did we really land on the moon, though?
Hey, I'm not sure if we landed on the moon, but the homegirl here in Mount Bellevue lost $6,000.
Yes, tons of merchandise, stuff paid. And, man, I don't know, but... I started getting a lot of beautiful blondes, mug shots of beautiful blondes like Moco, Montgomery County, Galveston County. We got 3 suspects that look just like the lady in this picture from the bank transaction. I don't know, friends. It's gonna be more questions than answers. We even had a baby daddy reach out and said, that's my baby mama. He's like, look, here's her mugshot. Baby daddies, it's your time to shine. It's your time to shine. If you see a female on one of these and it's your baby mama, go ahead and tell me. I'll keep it a secret. Ain't nobody got to know, just me and you. Look, there she goes. That is the suspect. And please do not send me altered, enhanced pictures. Let's not play with the images, because a lot of times people say, oh, Grizzy, here's one that you can use. I kind of fixed it for you. You're messing with the features. We're going to work with the crappy one that we have versus trying to, you might fix somebody's nose and you might give them a whole different look. And that's not what we're going for. So those pictures, just save it. Keep it for yourself. Keep your artwork.
The Snapchat filters on them.
Yeah, no, don't do that. They're like, oh, here's one more defined. We don't need it, because we want to make sure that we don't falsely accuse anybody or anything like that. The come on downs are gold. Let's keep them valuable. Right.
And again, the false sense of security too. How many times, if you think you're in a nice neighborhood and there's no burglaries, trust me, there's burglaries.
Yeah.
We even had situations where people would meet up at the police stations where they have the public meetup and they still get robbed.
Out of here, baby.
We've covered those stories.
Yeah.
So, if that happens at a police station, it could happen to you. Make sure you watch your back, keep your head on a swivel, and lock your doors.
Yes. Can we show another video too? This happened over off of, okay, so this is nice Mount Bellevue, but this is now Southwest Freeway somewhere out there. Shout out to my Hood News peeps in that area. Look at that F-350. It's a dually truck. Really nice. If I was a crook, I'm gonna pick that $100,000 truck myself.
Yeah.
I don't want that little what is that Toyota Tercel? I don't want that one. I want the big boy truck. He might have tools. He's gonna have something in there. And sure enough, a Hood News peep left a backpack, a flashlight, a pew pew. I mean, like, and money. Yeah, they struck gold. That's so crazy, you guys. We got to do better. Don't think that you're untouchable, because they will touch you.
Yeah, and that gun obviously is also might go in somebody else's hands and might end up in a crime situation
you
too as well.
You done turned a simple thief into a armed robber now. Like, come on, man. Like, I hope this doesn't hurt anybody. Like, having weapons, please, 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 friends.
That's some
Stop
brazen.
leaving your pew pews.
That's
there
brazen
are gun
too,
safes that you can get installed into your truck. Well, nobody, they won't be able to take it. Come on. If you got the money for all this kind of nice stuff, you got the extra money to take precautions. But the simple thing that you can do is just remove all valuables out of your vehicles. Don't leave anything that means anything to you in parked, unattended rights.
Yeah, and in this video right here, Grizzy, I'm looking at it, and he's first off, he stands out because he's wearing all white, right? And then also he's there with the flashlight looking inside the truck.
Yeah. Took his time. I don't know. Like, did they? I don't know if they smashed into the glass or whatever, but they took a backpack with a lot of important stuff in it, and that's just insane. And this happens. I get this kind of message at least 3 times a day. The reason I won't even post some of these because I get so frustrated. The reason I posted this one is because the gun. Somebody left a gun, and you just made the simple criminal. You just advanced his game, man. Like, that was like, this kind of like, the video games, when you find a gun, you take it, and you're ready. You just became more powerful in the game. Same thing here, man. This is GTA 5 Houston edition.
And that gun ends up in the wrong hands.
Yes. Might as well leave them a tray of cookies and milk.
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah. Baby. They're off in the loser cruiser. Hey, get back here. Yeah, get back over here, man. Get your mama. She needs to give you the chancla. Babe. Yeah. Come on down. This is a mass come on down request. We still have a few more suspects to identify.
Yeah, Grizzy, it looks like they're walking out with a lot of stuff too as well.
Yes, there is a chain of hardware stores that have been struck over $32,000 worth of power tools and all kinds of accessories coming out these stores for the month of June only. Just for the month of June. $32,000 estimated, probably more. So, yeah, we got the come on down request. Several people have already kind of been identified here and there. Be careful who you make angry because they're ready, man. They're ready to spill the beans. But this has been a theme that we come across, remember?
Right, it's a lot. And they're hitting up every store, and it's familiar cars too as well. It's a string of people, it looks like.
Yeah.
A gang of people too as well, where they're just coming around different stores, whether it's department stores, even local mom and pops, where they're walking in and walking out with all the expensive merchandise.
Yeah.
Hey, those COVID masks come in handy for them.
Man, I'm telling you that they shouldn't even, people shouldn't be wearing that anymore. But I mean, I guess we do have vulnerable folks, and COVID still is a thing, I guess.
Right.
But it just helps and assists with crime. Some of these guys are very athletic. That's just one tip I'm going to give you guys, okay? I'll just say one person in particular has a lot going for himself and might just ruin his life with these moves, man. That's all I got to say about that.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it at all.
It's not. If you got a lot going for yourself and you got the world at your disposition at this point, stop. It's not worth it, man. I don't know who's doing this to you, but they should be getting you to come up. These are not your friends. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not your friends. And you know what? If they're watching this, which more likely they're probably going to end up watching this. If you're watching this, do the right thing. Get with the right people. And, just make things right. You can. You got a chance. You have an opportunity to step out of this. Yep, change your ways, because if not, this could be the rest of your life. You got a bright future ahead of yourself. Change it.
And I'm wondering, where is this stuff ending up? The Hood News peeps, they've been working diligently. We got a lot of like Hood News investigators, man. Some of this stuff is ending up out of town. Some of this stuff is ending up in the flea market. There's like people that are buying this in bulk, and it's just the most craziest thing. We posted some videos a few months ago, a few episodes back, remember?
Right.
Where they were entering all these hardware stores and stealing all these battery chargers. Well, now it's upgraded to the tool sets, like all these power tools. And I mean, no fear, going in and out the stores, going through the back doors, loading up and taking off. That is creating or even out the front. Look at this shopping cart full of stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're going to the big cities like San Francisco, LA. You're seeing this New York, Houston, Chicago. And they're maybe traveling here too as well, and maybe say this is an easy target. Walk in and walk out with no consequences.
Just insane, man. Please do the right thing. What's so hard about getting a job? That's all I want to know. You'll get 401k benefits, some sort of health insurance, some kind of great benefits. Plus, you're gonna have some guaranteed, retirement money. Come on, what are y'all doing? Like, man, you're gonna make a few thousand. And not even the whole what it's worth, man. It's just not even worth it. And then you got your face out there forever, and your kids might be watching. Yeah, and one of y'all.
Sorry, there's no such thing as easy money.
One of y'all has a lot to lose, man. And I was so saddened to hear who this person is, and I was like, dang, man. Stay tuned. If there are any updates available, I'll definitely let you know.
That'll do it for episode number 30. Thank you guys for watching. And also keep it tuned in to Grizzy'sHoodNews.com. And for the latest, greatest videos is right there at your fingertips, Grizzy'sHoodNews.com. Grizzy, any words of wisdom for the week?
Man, don't F around and find out, man, because somebody's going to get you moving that way on the Hood News. Much love. And, just let's be blessed. Let's try to find the good in all this. I really appreciate people reaching out with positive stories as well. It can't all be tragedy. It's gotten to the point to where I'm not posting everything everybody's sending me anymore because it's so much. Let's find the good things. Let's find the positivity. And even when we are showing the negative, we are really trying to be positive and trying to help where we can. But let's look for some people we can shout out for their kind acts or their positivity. Let's look for more of that, because that's really a nice feeling when we can put stories out like
and Grizzy, that's what we're all about, is unity, and also making sure we come together as a community and making sure, helping one each other out. Police departments and everybody in our crime situation, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough on our criminal system too as well. It's really tough on them. It's a strain. But we have an obligation too as citizens and people in our areas too as well to play a part. So send us the good stuff too. Send us the stuff that we're highlighting people who are doing good in the community, who are serving with pride, right? Yeah. Houston, while we talk about it, it's a crazy town. Yeah. But man, we got nothing but love here. Yeah. We come together.
Yeah. Let's get the tea on the good stuff, because I'm ready for some sweet tea, man. We need some sweet tea, because some of y'all be giving me the piping, smoking hot tea. I'm like, hey. Like, give me some sweet tea. It's time to put some ice on it and stuff.
And until next week, if it's real news,
it's Hood News.